Well, Jimmy Kimmel was fired because he had bad ratings more than anything else, and he said a horrible thing about a great gentleman known as Charlie Kirk. And Jimmy Kimmel is not a talented person. He had very bad ratings, and they should have fired him a long time ago. So, you can call that free speech or not. He was fired for lack of talent.
No matter how bad you think your job is, it's important to remember there's someone out there who has to give Donald Trump a prostate exam. For some, literally. For others, just figuratively. Happening in the Middle East, Trump says Israel and Hamas have agreed to phase 1 of the peace plan he forced on them because they're giving out the Nobel Peace Prize tomorrow. He grabbed them by the PC and they liked it. Trump wants that Nobel Prize so bad. I've seen a lot of Oscar and Emmy campaigns, but no one has ever vied for an award more vigorously than our Dalai Lama.
Obama got a Nobel Peace Prize. He didn't do anything.
They gave it to Obama for doing absolutely nothing. He got the Nobel Prize for doing nothing.
They should give me the Nobel Prize.
Everyone says that I should get the Nobel Peace Prize. I had so many people, you should get the Nobel Prize. I was nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize.
Jimmy Kimmel and his fellow late-night hosts have built careers on mocking politicians and celebrities, but the hard numbers and recent controversies show their own industry is struggling. Ratings are declining across most shows, their influence is shrinking among younger audiences, and their reliance on viral clips masks the erosion of traditional viewership. This is the raw exposé of late-night television's fading empire. Subscribe now to get more exposés like this. Your one subscribe inspires us a lot.
Usually they say he's a horrible dictator type person. I'm a dictator. But sometimes you need a dictator. They called me daddy, right, last time. A very smart man said, he's our daddy. He's running it. I was like running it. I went from running it to being a terrible human being. And now what I'm asking for is a piece of ice, cold and poorly located, that can play a vital role in world peace and world protection.
Late-night television once defined American pop culture. Johnny Carson, David Letterman, and Jay Leno commanded audiences of millions, shaping national conversations. Today, Jimmy Kimmel, Stephen Colbert, and Jimmy Fallon occupy those seats. But the reality is stark. Their reach is shrinking, their credibility questioned, and their relevance increasingly dependent on social media rather than television. According to Nielsen's 2025 ratings data, most late-night programs saw declines in both total viewers and the key 18-49 demographic. Colbert's Late Show and Fallon's Tonight Show both lost viewers compared to 2024, continuing a downward trend that has plagued network late-night for years. Fallon, once marketed as the youthful face of NBC's late-night lineup, has seen his ratings erode as younger audiences migrate to TikTok, YouTube, and streaming platforms. Colbert, who built his brand on sharp political satire, has struggled to maintain momentum as audiences tire of partisan comedy. Jimmy Kimmel stands out as the only network host to post growth in 2025, with a 14% increase in total viewers and 4% in the demo. But even this success is modest when compared to the golden era of late night, where hosts regularly commanded audiences of 5 to 6 million. Kimmel's average viewership hovers around 2 million, a fraction of Carson's or Leno's peak. The growth is less a triumph of content than a reflection of the collapse of his competitors. The industry's defenders argue that late-night clips thrive online, with segments going viral on YouTube and Twitter. That's true. Kimmel's monologues mocking Donald Trump or Fallon's celebrity games often rack up millions of views. But this masks the deeper problem. Television ratings are collapsing, and advertisers care about live audiences. Viral clips generate buzz, but not the same revenue streams as traditional broadcast dominance. The late-night model is increasingly unsustainable, propped up by digital scraps rather than primetime power. Beyond ratings, credibility is another issue. Kimmel, Fallon, and Colbert have all faced criticism for hypocrisy. Fallon famously normalized Trump during a 2016 interview by playfully tousling his hair, a moment that haunted him as audiences accused him of trivializing politics. Kimmel, meanwhile, has positioned himself as a moral voice on healthcare and gun control, delivering emotional monologues. Yet critics point out that his show thrives on celebrity culture and corporate sponsorship, raising questions about authenticity. Colbert, once hailed for his biting satire on The Colbert Report, has been accused of losing his edge, relying too heavily on anti-Trump jokes long after audiences grew weary of repetition. The numbers tell the story. In 2025, Fox News' Gutfeld, a conservative late-night alternative, was only 2 shows to grow alongside Kimmel. This signals a shift. Audiences are increasingly fragmented, and traditional liberal-leaning late-night hosts no longer dominate the cultural conversation. The erosion of late-night influence is also generational. Younger viewers don't stay up until 11:30 p.m. to watch monologues. They consume comedy in short bursts on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. Nielsen data shows that late-night audiences skew older, with the median viewer in their 50s or 60s. This demographic reality undermines the host's claims of cultural relevance. They may trend online occasionally, but they are no longer the nightly voices shaping America's discourse.
Blew up the World Trade Center, and I said, you gotta watch Osama bin Laden. And the fake news would never let me get away with that statement unless it was true. But I said 1 year before to Pete Hegseth, I said 1 year before, where's Pete? In the book, I wrote, whatever the hell the title, I can't tell you. But I can tell you there's a page in there devoted to the fact that I saw somebody named Osama bin Laden, and I didn't like it.
He didn't like it. And you can read all about it in the book he wrote but can't remember the title of. Is he putting Tylenol in his McFlurries now? I mean, everyone knew bin Laden was a dangerous terrorist in 2000. Are we to believe he was getting intelligence briefings on the set of his Pizza Hut commercials at that time?
Even Kimmel's modest ratings bump comes with caveats. His show benefited from high-profile interviews and viral segments, but the sustainability of that growth is questionable. Analysts note that Nielsen's methodology changes in 2025 may have artificially boosted certain numbers, making year-over-year comparisons less reliable. The raw expose is this: Jimmy Kimmel and his peers are entertainers clinging to a fading format. They mock politicians for chasing recognition, yet they themselves chase relevance through viral clips and social media trends. Their ratings are shrinking, their audiences aging, and their credibility eroding. Fallon's decline shows the limits of gimmicks. Colbert's stagnation shows the limits of partisan comedy. Kimmel's modest growth shows the limits of survival in a collapsing industry. Late-night television is no longer the cultural powerhouse it once was. It is a niche product, sustained by nostalgia and digital fragments. The hosts may continue to posture as moral voices or comedic giants, but the data proves otherwise. They are performers in decline, exposed by the very numbers they try to ignore.